Hey, what is going on, SMT Nation? It's your boy, the SMT. We got the T-Mobile Q4 2020 quarterly report. We got the earnings, and we got information on the entire year of 2020. We've got insight from the CEO. We've got insight from the president of technology, Neville Ray. There's a bunch of stuff in here. Man, it's incredible. I always like getting the information. I like getting the data, the numbers. It's a lot of fun to crunch them and then kind of draw conclusions from them. And I offer it to you today in this video. Excited to do that. And then at any time you want to drop some comments down in the comment section. Looking forward to read and see what you have with what the nation has to say on these items. So just to go ahead and get it out of the way, Mike Sievert, a.k.a. Eugene, a.k.a. Sweaty Armpits, says that this is the best year ever in T-Mobile history. The best quarter ever. You know how he does it. Always says it's the greatest day ever, the greatest quarter ever, whatever. That's just what he does. Anyways, nice job, Eugene. You got us hyped up. Let's do this. All right, T-Mobile Q4 2020 quarterly earnings report. 102 million customers now with the T-Mobile company. We've got almost 21 million prepaid customers collectively at the company. In terms of 2020 for postpaid, they added 5.5 million customers, not counting the merger. If you count the merger, you got an additional 30-plus million subscribers from the Sprint side. In terms of Q4, on the prepaid side, they added 84,000 customers. For the year, they added 145,000 customers. The prepaid churn was 2.92. In 2019, it was 3.1. So it looks like prepaid churn is going down, which is nice. You're retaining your customers. Additionally, the postpaid quarterly numbers, 824,000 additions. The churn rate was the highest in the industry at 1.03. So the postpaid churn is up. The prepaid churn is down. I think that's indicative of, obviously, the merger. Maybe customers leaving, not wanting to be on T-Mobile or displeased with the whole network integration process. Who knows? There's probably some disgruntled customers in there. Maybe people that went to AT&T or Verizon or whatever. Additionally, the 2020 postpaid churn rate for T-Mobile was 0.90. That was the highest in the industry. Both Verizon and AT&T, I think, combined for a 0.76 churn rate. So that's a little bit high. In terms of what Eugene was calling to, he mentioned that pretty much most of the churn was coming from the Sprint side. Maybe not explicitly, but he did indicate several times that the T-Mobile customer was staying with the company, citing loyalty. So also, additionally, I looked at some of the numbers, postpaid upgrade rates in terms of the phone ads. I think it's up year over year. Last year, it's 5.6%. This year, 5.7%. Maybe, a slight spike due to the iPhones and the 5G upgrade cycle, the 5G network piece. Maybe that has something to do with it. ARPU in 2019 was 46.04. In 2020, it went up to 47.74. So it looks like the average revenue per user is going up, which is good. Postpaid revenue has doubled over the course of the last year. The net income has almost tripled. So I think that is an indication that the synergies with Sprint are paying out. The short-term debt did increase by 20%. Not surprising with the merger, considering that. Postpaid service growth did increase by 2%. Sprint postpaid customers, we still have 26 million customers not migrated to T-Mobile yet. They have only migrated somewhere in the neighborhood of about 4 to 5 million customers. I think there's still 8 million prepaid, that are on the network there on that side. I don't know. Some other things that Eugene, a.k.a. Sweaty Armpits, had to say. They're going to continue to try to outgrow the competition. They're going to continue to scale with the synergies and focus on long-term growth. Eugene, with his crackly voice today, admitted that perception matters. That was kind of insightful. I didn't expect this. It was kind of an honest moment from, the carrier CEO. They only competed on price in the past, and they've always been, urban area focused. And he said that they're looking to change that. He mentioned home broadband multiple times as a focus area, as well as with 5G. He said he wanted the company to grow in small towns. He mentioned synergies could possibly triple in 2021, which is kind of interesting because it was, pretty substantial in 2020. $1.3 billion in synergies. The expectation is it could exceed $3 billion. So Eugene continues the John Leisure way of hating root metrics, stating that Verizon pays them apparently. I'm not sure how long they're going to be riding that go-kart for. The quarter was a beat overall. The stock did dip, though, by almost 3% in the most recent report. Post-close, I'm not really sure what's going on there. T-Mobile has added more customers than the competition. They continue to increase their revenue. Their EBITDA, I think, went up from $6.5 billion to $6.7 billion, and their free cash flow now sits at $6 billion. So a lot of insight there. We're going to get some more. Mike Cezar did mention the analyst day in March, which could be an indication of what they're going to be doing with C-band and the spectrum auction. We should have an idea of how much spectrum T-Mobile got, how much the others got, and where, and things like that. But this was a really interesting quarterly earnings because not only did it give you the quarter, it gave you the year, and then it gives you kind of future-looking statements at what T-Mobile's doing financially, what they're going to be doing with the network. You know, they spoke about, you know, the ultra capacity with N41, which, again, in my opinion, is not truly ultra capacity, but regardless, it is a new piece of their network that is going to offer a lot of capacity. And, you know, the president of technology, Rayz, spoke to it, you know, and talked about the scale and how they were going to increase the footprint of the N41. And, you know, when you watch these earnings and these reports from T-Mobile, it gets you upbeat and excited about them as a carrier. But when you see the stocks start to dip, it doesn't really align and jive with that. So I wonder what the disconnect is. I'd actually like to know what your take is on it. I'm not down on T-Mobile on it. I mean, there's a couple of things, obviously, that I think, you know, Eugene was kind of untruthful about. In my opinion, I have no idea how he self-proclaimed the company to have the best churn in the industry when clearly the numbers show that Verizon and AT&T had lower churn. But that's what he said. I don't. Outside of that, I mean, things look pretty good. So I'm not really sure why the stocks were dipping per se. Maybe you have an idea. Maybe you know, could comment on that. I don't know what your perceptions are on it. But based on these numbers, things look pretty good at T-Mobile. If you're an investor, I'd actually be curious to hear what you have to say. Why do you think the stocks dipped after, you know, the earnings like came out 30 minutes before the call took place? You know, maybe you have some insight on that. But outside of the churn, I thought everything looked pretty good. The revenue's up. The subscribers that were added is up. I mean, everything looks good otherwise. But we're looking forward to that March event with Mike Cezar and Rayz and the execs over at T-Mobile. I think we're going to hear a lot of interesting forward-looking statements, including CapEx guidance and things of that nature. It looks like the CapEx is going to be hanging around the 11.7, maybe 12 billion mark, which, you know, it kind of falls where I thought it was going to be. If you go back to future videos and, you know, live streams and podcasts that I've done, that's kind of where I thought they would be for the year. I kind of wanted to see that come up, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We're tracking it. We're tracking all the network upgrades. We're tracking the growth of the company. We're seeing what they're doing with T-Vision. We're going to watch what they're doing with the home internet. All that stuff is exciting. A lot to unpack there. We will be doing a live stream. We'll have a couple of guests on there. Excited about that. So keep it locked and keep it tuned here on the SMT YouTube channel. More T-Mobile coverage, more Verizon coverage, more AT&T coverage, and we'll continue to do that for you guys here on the SMT YouTube channel. Thanks for coming around to watch. Glad you're a part of the community. Looking forward to having you on future episodes, and your viewership is greatly appreciated. Thank you. That just about does it for this edition of the SMT YouTube channel. Thank you so much for taking this opportunity to watch. We appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to give this video a like and share it to all of your favorite social media platforms. Also, consider becoming a subscriber if you'd like more from the SMT, and activate that bell notification icon so you never miss an upload, and you'll be the first to know when something does hit the YouTubes. Also, we've got items in the description box. We've got a Discord server. The @SneedTech Twitter handle is there, and there's ways to donate and support SMT creation. That pretty much does it for today. Thank you so much for being here again. Hope you have a great day, and we'll hopefully see you soon on the next video. Peace.